At 4:30, a much-needed dose of good news for the Hampton Veterans Affairs Medical Center. The VA has bumped up its rating for the hospital when it comes to accessing care and patient satisfaction, and it's no longer considered an at-risk facility. 13 News Now military reporter Mike Gooding has reaction.
Of course, in recent years, the news coming out of the Hampton VA hasn't been good. In fact, at one point, they had the slowest, longest wait times for patients in the entire country. But now, this week, some modest good news. The Department of Veterans Affairs has bumped the 432-bed hospital and medical facility up to a 2 out of a possible 5-star rating. No longer is it a 1-star at-risk facility, an inglorious distinction it had held since the fourth quarter of 2017.
To demonstrate some improvement on these measures, on these outcomes, is very exciting for us. The staff are very pleased with what they have done, and now all the effort that they put in is starting to pay dividends.
Over the last year, the 153-year-old Hampton VA Medical Center has increased the percentage of veterans who are able to get an appointment within 30 days of their preferred date by over 21%. In fiscal year 18, on average, it took 7.9 days for a new patient to get a primary care appointment and 4.3 days for an existing patient. Director J. Ronald Johnson says he hopes for the sake of the 53,000 vets who use this facility that Hampton eventually becomes the highest-rated VA center in Virginia.
We're going to do what it takes to meet their needs. And so we want patients to know that. We want them to understand that we're changing our culture. We're changing the way we interact with them, ultimately to improve the experience that they have when they come here.
Hampton plans to add more than 25,000 square feet of new primary and specialty care clinics, and in 2019 plans to expand the Virginia Beach and Chesapeake community-based outpatient clinics. Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.